I can tell you that the number one problem in Hollywood was and is and always will be pedophilia. That's the biggest problem for children in this industry.
The casting couch even applies to children.
Oh, yeah. Not in the same way. It's all done under the radar.
Nobody talks about pedophilia.
It's the big secret.
And it's widespread?
Oh, yeah. I was surrounded by them when I was 14 years old. Surrounded. Literally. Didn't even know it. It wasn't until I was old enough to realize what they were and what they wanted and what they were about and the types of people that were surrounding me till I went, oh my God, they were everywhere like vultures.
Vultures who Feldman says abused him and his best friend, the late child actor Corey Haim, his co-star in The Lost Boys.
Well, what happens if my mom is dating the head vampire?
Feldman says the trauma of that pedophilia contributed to Haim's death.
There's one person to blame in the death of Corey Haim, and that person happens to be a Hollywood mogul. And that person needs to be exposed, but unfortunately I can't be the one to do it. But the person that knows who did it and knows who he is watching right now, I guarantee you. Yeah.
Intriguing.
Yeah. There was a circle of older men that surrounded themselves around this group of kids. And they all had either their own power or connections to great power in the entertainment industry.
Feldman won't name names. And he admits his friend had a struggle with addiction, which he says was a mechanism to cope with his demons. It was a symptom.
It was a symptom, correct.
Are we in it?
In 2008, the two Coreys confronted each other on their reality show about the dark past they shared.
You let me get around in my life, man. Raped, so to speak. When I was about 14 and a half, and I'm saying this right now. What'd you do, man, when you saw that going down when I was 14 to me? What'd you do? You knew about it.
You want to talk about the truth? Okay, well, then let's talk about the truth. I was being molested at the same time by somebody else. What'd you do? You know, there's a lot of good people in this industry, but there's also a lot of really, really sick, corrupt people in this industry. And there are people in this industry who have gotten away with it for so long that they feel they're above the law. And that's got to change. That's got to stop.
In previous reports, we established that pedophilia has infiltrated the highest levels of the American government. That includes both the Republican and the Democratic parties. We also established that pedophilia in government is a global issue. Edward Heath, the former Prime Minister of Britain, their version of the presidency, has been accused of raping upwards of 30 young boys. We also established that the corporate mainstream media is complicit in covering these acts up. Harvey Weinstein, a great case study. The New York Times had knowledge of his sexual misconduct dating back all the way to 2004, but they sat on the story. And NBC News allegedly has a taped confession, from former Charm star Rose McGowan, in which she claims that Harvey Weinstein brutally raped her, but NBC killed that story. And it wasn't until one brave reporter went against his higher-ups and pushed the Weinstein story to the forefront that the public finally caught wind to just how corrupt Weinstein and all of Hollywood actually are when it comes to sexual misconduct. And you see the power of grassroots media, because all of these people were afraid of Weinstein, and he turned out to be this great paper tiger. Because as soon as the news broke of his sexual misconduct, there's no corporate influence to stop the grassroots media. The grassroots media has ran with this story, and within days, the paper tiger that is Harvey Weinstein has been completely destroyed. But now we see the mainstream media attempting to do damage control, going to their normal arguments, or their typical arguments, that this is about the oppressed versus the oppressor, and what we need to do is push the same policies that Harvey Weinstein and the Clintons and all of the people who are actually perpetrating against the victims have been pushing. They use their own offense to try to push their policies that make people victims in the first place. Narrative-driven news is very dangerous. Basically, they're saying that this is about one rogue white male sexually harassing innocent females, which it is, but really this speaks to the bigger cultural problem in Hollywood, because almost everyone in Hollywood knew and no one said anything, And this isn't unique to females. This is also a problem amongst males. In fact, pedophilia is probably the biggest problem in Hollywood. But it's not even unique to children. Male actors have also faced, it's just harder to get them to come out, large amounts of sexual abuse. And I'm going to show that here. This is Kaya of the Pussycat Dolls. After the Harvey Weinstein story broke, she released a series of telling and disturbing tweets in regard to her experience with sexual abuse, sexual harassment, rape, and pedophilia in Hollywood. Oh shit, Rose McGowan, I get it. Rose, we all have our breaking point. I had mine a while back. I stand with you. Hashtag taking our power back. Please, Hollywood, start telling the truth. Expose the truth. It's time for a new Hollywood. One where art is about original thought and not sex. God forbid she speak the truth. Man, this is lame. That was in response to Twitter suspending Rose McGowan for calling out her sexual abusers. What does that say about Twitter? I hope all Hollywood elites are a little nervous tonight. Who knows, maybe tomorrow your family and friends will find out who you really are. Tried to silence us but made us stronger. Tried to drug us, but we were wide awake. Tried to blacklist us, but fans followed. We aren't kids anymore. The children you messed with that survived the abuse, we are adults now. Are you ready, old ones, to fight? 'Cause you all are looking mighty old. My truth, I wasn't in a girl group. I was in a prostitution ring. Oh, and we happened to sing and be famous, while everyone who owned us made the money. How bad was it? People ask bad enough that I walked away from my dreams, bandmates, and a $13 million record deal. We knew we were going to be number one. Good for you, Kaya. I want the den mother from hell to confess why another one of her girl group girls committed suicide. Tell the public how you mentally broke us. To be a part of a team, you must be a team player, meaning sleep with whoever they say. If you don't, they have nothing on you to leverage. Yes, I said leverage, meaning after they turn you out to get you hooked on drugs, they use it against you. Correct, victimizing the victim again. That's why I have so much respect for our military. I've been through war, but my scars you can't see. At least real war is honest. Why don't we report it? Because we are all abused. I personally have been warned if I tell, I will, end up dead, or no more career. Well, killing you or killing your soul, what's the difference? You do it for them. A teenager goes to jail for less. Will Hollywood? I told the press in Hollywood about my abuse and they did nothing. Ding, 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 ding. I'm still dealing with Vegas. Talk about back-to-back. Vegas and Hollywood. Man. In 2004, I told Hollywood executives. In 2005 and 2006, I told the press. Ding, 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 ding. In 2011, I spoke up again. Hope you can hear me now, media. Way to go. I wonder if any other victims kept a journal like I did. Oh yes, I kept a journal with timelines. I can't wait to see that, Kaya. Because I'll be damned if I sit back and watch them take advantage of the public and other young women again. No reunion on my watch. Fact. I know as many men as I do women who have been abused in the entertainment industry by Hollywood elites. We are numb to it. That's wrong. Fact. Kaya knows as many men in Hollywood who have been abused as women. But I would imagine for men, coming out about sexual abuse is even more difficult. Some men, however, have come out since the Harvey Weinstein scandal broke. This is Terry Crew. You may know him from his role in Old Spice commercials or the Friday movie franchise. Not exactly a little guy, but like many of the women in Hollywood, he had to succumb to sexual abuse. This whole thing with Harvey Weinstein is giving me post-traumatic stress disorder. Why? Because this kind of thing happened to me. My wife and I were at a Hollywood function last year and a high-level Hollywood executive came over to me and groped my privates. Jumping back, I said, "What are you doing?" My wife saw everything and we looked at him like he was crazy. He just grinned like a jerk. That night and the next day, I talked to everyone I knew that worked with him about what happened. This is James Vanderbeek, star of TV shows such as Dawson's Creek and movies such as Varsity Blues. After the Harvey Weinstein scandal dropped, he blew the whistle on his experience with sexual abuse in Hollywood. I've had my ass grabbed by older, powerful men, I've had them corner me in inappropriate sexual conversations when I was much younger. And as if it's not difficult enough to speak out against sexual abusers, look what happens to the people that do.
I'm saying that there are people that were the people that did this to both me and Corey that are still working. They're still out there, and they're some of the richest, most powerful people in this business.
And they are.
And they do not want me saying what I'm saying right now.
Are you saying that they're pedophiles?
Yes.
And that they're still in this business?
Yes.
That's what, and that's what you're saying in your book. When you talk to when you talk to
And they don't want
parents,
me here right now. Trust
Corey,
me. They want me dead.
there are a lot of parents out here who want to put their kids in this business. Their kids are cute, they're great actors. Da, da, da. What would you say to a parent who just has the best of intentions, who's coming here with their child? If you're saying that there's a lot of predators in this industry.
It's a many-feathered bird. Okay? Be careful what you wish for. That's what I'll tell you. You know, don't go into it with naivety. Don't go into it thinking that it's all roses and
You're
sunglasses
damaging
and
an entire industry.
I'm sorry,
wanna
I'm
clear
not
up. You
trying
said
to.
that-
I'm just trying to say that it's a very important, serious topic.
You said that there was one gentleman in the industry who did not take advantage of you. He was not a pedophile. You said it was Michael Jackson.
Of all people,
You are damaging an entire industry. How dare you speak out against older men, executives in positions of power, who molested you when you were just a child, who forced your 14-year-old best friend to have anal sex with them, which led him to a lifelong battle with drug addiction and ultimately to his death. How dare you damage the industry, Corey Feldman. The View, Barbara Walters, always looking out for you, pushing the same political agendas as Harvey Weinstein and the Clintons. Isn't that interesting? I'm sure they're just looking out for you. I'm sure third wave feminism is all about female empowerment. And let's not let the mainstream media change the narrative that this is all about one rogue executive sexually harassing and raping innocent young women. This is a culture in Hollywood, a culture of rape and abuse against anyone who is powerless. This includes innocent young women. This includes innocent young men. And this includes the most innocent people in society, children. Pedophilia is rampant throughout not only Hollywood, it's a culture, but through our government as well. And the media has been complicit in covering it up. The establishments of power in this country are a cesspool of corruption. And notice the nature of these sexual acts. They're about power. It's not about sex. Harvey Weinstein, as a case study, is a billionaire and one of the most powerful people in Hollywood. He doesn't need to sexually harass, to rape women. I'm sure there are endless amounts of young girls who throw themselves at him. He chooses to target women who he has power over because he gets off on their fear. It's the same thing with all these pedophiles. They get off on the fear, the discomfort. It's the reason why they sexually assault young men actors, because they're getting off on their fear. It's all about power. These people are parasites on society. And if this is their nature, if this is what they get off on, these parasitic tendencies, are you sure the political issues, the political policies they're trying to get you to accept are about your empowerment or about parasitic power? Hey guys, I just wanted to say how much I love doing this. I feel like my life has so much purpose. Every day I wake up and I try to take on people in positions of tremendous power who I know are parasites because I do so much reading. And it really gives my life a lot of purpose. Your financial support means a great deal to me. For those of you that already contribute to my Patreon, it really makes this all possible. And for anyone else out there who wants to help a good cause, I would really appreciate it. Please like and share these videos and click the bell on the bottom right side so you get notifications when future videos are released. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye. I know you are out there. You're listening. You're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change. I can't see the future. I'm not here to tell you how this is going to end. I'm here to tell you how this is going to begin. I'm going to start this broadcast, and when I do, I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. A world without controls and boundaries. A world where anything is possible.